I'm going to work in my 2017 composite art journal today. And I am going to work on another page in the My Year 2017 Facebook group. And this is another prompt that is inspired by, yes, Gina Ahrens. Gina inspired this page that I did yesterday of using nature elements on your page. I really do like that. I am going to work on the back of this, and I was watching the video that she put out today. She puts out these videos when she hosts, and it just inspires me to no end. Today she was doing sketchy flowers. Now, you know, I'm into sketching my daffodils and irises. So how could I not do sketchy flowers? I am going to do sketchy flowers, but I'm going to do something a little bit different in that she used a technique that she saw a couple of other YouTube artists do, and that was to put your pen down on the page and not lift it up. I'm not going to do that, but I am going to do the sketchy flower. She also used a Pilot Varsity pen, which has water-soluble ink, and you know I love these R2 pens. So this is the pen that I'm going to use. If you watched my iris video where I did the ink tint sketch of the iris, you will see at a point in there, and I'll try to clip it out, a point in there to where I did my sketch with the R2 pen, the sketchy part of it, and then I went in to color it. And you saw where I spritzed that page with my water, with my spritzer, and the ink, of course, bloomed out, which was what I wanted, because in my mind those irises are very delicate, and that bleeding and blooming of the ink just lended a delicate touch to those flowers. But in my passion for color and to get the ink tints on the page, I largely painted over that blooming of the ink. I'm going to sketch from a reference photo from the Inspire Me album in the My Year 2017 Facebook group. I'll show that to you in a minute. But when I do that, I'm going to try to limit myself to not putting so much on the page that I destroy the delicate balance of those flowers. I can't really describe it, I just know what I'm going after. I'm going to do another page which will use these same flowers, but I'm going to do one incorporating a photograph of my mother in honor of Mother's Day. So that's where I'm going with that. Let me show you the photos first. Here are the photos. These are the flowers that I'm going to use. This is a photograph of my mother, but on my second sketch I want to incorporate these two because, like all mothers, my mother loved flowers. She had lots and lots of flowers, and you can see where I get my love of them from. So I'm just going to get busy. I'm first going to do this inky sketch, this sketchy flower, and see if I can achieve that delicate bleed. I'm going to put a little color on the page, but my goal is to stop quick. basic sketchy in. My goal is to hit this ink with this R2 pen with my water spritzer. The other thing I wanted to say was I am working on the back of this page, and this page is very warped. It's warped from it being worked on this side. So I'm not working on a flat surface. So this water, when it hits the page, is going to flow in the direction probably of the warp. So I can't really avoid that. In fact, I think that might make it more interesting. Now I know this page is very wet, and I know from experience that when it's wet, these ink tints as watercolors are more bright and vibrant. When they dry to a little bit more of a flat color. So I'm going to leave this alone. I like what's happening right in here. I had to remove some of the ink. It was getting almost too overpowering. But I may go back in with my ink pen again when this is dry and see what happens. While this is drying, I'm going to work on the one that I want to do with my mother in it. Okay, here's the basic sketch I did. This is my mother, and since I can't give her a real bouquet of flowers this year, I'm going to sketch her sitting within a bouquet of flowers. So this is the beginning of it. I've got a lot of work to do on it. This is just me having fun, just saying Happy Mother's Day to my mother. But it's not done. I'll come back to it. Here's the one that I started where I said, yes, the colors are going to dry a little bit lighter, and they have. This page is still damp, but it's not sopping wet. But I think that I'm not going to put any more color on it, but I do want some more of this dark. Now, there's a lot of gray tones in here, but that's okay. I do kind of like that, but I want more black and I want more bleed. So I'm going to hit it again with my R2 pen. Now this is more what I'm going for, but it's very wet. I am getting those dark lines in there like I want with my dark ink. There is some of the bleed and the definition up in here. I can't lift it up to show you, but if you remember me pointing out this area before, I've achieved that in some of these other areas here. That's almost not what I want. But I've gotten these dark contrasts to just the little pops of color on there. So I'm going to let this dry. I know that it will dry lighter again, but I'm just going to leave it just as it is. I'm not even going to lift it up. I'm going to walk away and do something else. And I'm still working on my mother's sketch, but I don't want to move this. So we'll just see what happens. My page is still damp. I'm going to stop on it. While it's getting close to what I want, it's not quite there yet. I'm going to pull out another sheet and work on it again. I'm going to see if I can't. I want more dark lines and black to white contrast. I can't explain it. I can see it. I know it when it happens. So, yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm not unhappy with it. But it's just not quite to the point where I want it yet. I'm going to set it aside and I'm going to try again. Look at the difference in these two. This I kept going. This I stopped. I want to put more color on here, believe me. My mind says I need more dark tones on here. But my heart says that if I do it, it's going to end up like this. So I'm trying to achieve a very delicate sketch here without loading it down with lots of color. And I'm trying to work with this bleed. This bleed in here where I spread it. Now, bleed is going to go where it wants to go. But I do like the delicate nature of it. I like how it spritzes out like that. And I think by coming back with the ink pen over that area says I'm going to control you in a sense. And I'm going to make it like a shadow in a way. I don't know what I'm getting at there, except for I know I like it, and I know that when I go back on it with the pen, I tend to like it a little bit more. That's that's about the only way I can describe it. I like both of these sketches. I like this for what it is. I do think that it's a little bit overworked in here with the dark grays. I like the tones of red in here. But I guarantee you that if I wouldn't have quit when I did, it would have been way overworked. And I do like this one too. I tried to quit quick. So I'm going to set these aside. And I'm going to go back and work on my Mother's Day one. my pages are finished. I'm pretty happy with them. This one is really curling up on me, warping on me. I'm going to have to put it under some heavy books. I do like this one a lot better now that it's dried, because it is dried lighter. So I really do like the colors in that. And compared to this one is very light and delicate. This was more what I was going for in this session. I do like it a lot. It's warping on me too. I'm going to have to weight these pages down under some books. And then here's my Mother's Day one. I went ahead and finished her off camera. My camera ran out of time, but that's okay. This was just fun. This is just a way for me to say Happy Mother's Day. I will see you on the next page.